So I got some rubbers here, weather stripping from Amazon, but this is the company here. Here's the part number for a two-door convertible Cadillac, 68 Cadillac. The first kit I ordered was for a two-door, but not a convertible, and sure enough, they're different, so make sure you ask for the convertible if you have a convertible. But anyway, I thought I'd bring you along, show you how I put one of these on. Take off your inner panel, because you're going to want access to your trim here for the new rubber, and then that'll give you access to the outer portion. So obviously that inner panel is off, and that new rubber has been installed on that side. I thought I'd bring you along for this side to show you what it is you have to do to make these fit. There's other videos from Caddy Daddy. They show how to do this with everything installed, and actually I don't like the way they did it, because in their case, they had to drill out rivets, which is fine. You may have to on yours. In my case, a 68 Cadillac, it's just 4 screws, and the rubber came off, and then this comes off as well. So you can do this on the bench, which I think is a better option. And the reason for that is, these don't fit perfectly. Now, I'll put on the screen where I got these. These are the less expensive brand, but you can see my dilemma here. It's fine to start with, and then it starts to go downhill and doesn't line up. So what I had to do on the other side is actually cut the rubber, which I hate to do because there's metal backing behind there, but it's the only way I see to make this fit. There's also clips here that go into the chrome itself to help stabilize it, so those will help guide you as you bend this and get it into position, like I'm going to have to do now, and I'll show you what that looks like. So I'm going to elect to start with the back here, put those tabs in place. So I have my alignment. Now it does drop here by design. It doesn't perfectly match the top of your chrome. So to keep the holes, mounting holes lined up, you have to live with that. But now you can see which direction they want to head there. So what I have to decide is where and how many cuts to make so I can get this to line up with this bend here. So what you want to do is actually exaggerate where these bends are, because you can get to the top, or you can get to them behind and bend them back down, but this will aid in getting these on and lined up. Oh, so I did make a cut here. This was the first place I could see, man, I gotta get this straight. This is the first cut I made, if it shows up or not, right through my fingers, to help with the contour. So I'll line up, kind of hard to see, but I'm gonna line up those tabs where the slots are, and I over bent them on purpose because I wanted plenty of room to go back far enough to get this front one in. Oh yeah, dummy me, that ain't no big deal, because like I said, you can just bend them straight out actually, lay them in place, and then go to the back side and bend them flat again. So one that's opposite just helps lock it all in place. So I'll do that, and now I got to contend with this not lining up here, so I need to make another cut, unfortunately, down on this area to get this lined up. So let me figure that out and I'll bring you back. Pretty happy with that. We have it lined up pretty good, top edge. Rivet's so big that it's not allowing the rubber to sit tight against the molding here, if you can see the gap right there. So two choices: we cut that rivet out and put another one in. However, because there's already a hole in the chrome, I think I'm just going to make it bigger. Just drill a bigger hole right there so the rivet will go through there and sit flush. You know what? After thinking about it, I'm going to scratch the idea of cutting a hole in a piece that is ungodly expensive and incredibly hard to find. Instead, why don't I take this rivet out and redo another one that's flush? And then on the third thought, when I was over there clamping this in the vise to get rid of the drill, I thought, well shoot, why don't I just try smashing it down flush? And sure enough, I just squeezed it harder than what they did on my vise, and I got it flat now. So let's see how it fits now. And I think that was the best results. We didn't destroy anything. We just clamped down harder, and now we got a nice tight seal. Only thing I have to do now is screw this back into the car. It's just 4 screws. Never have enough light, so hopefully you can see what's going on, but I just laid the trim piece down in place, and it's a matter now of getting to the back side for the screws. Like, if I wasn't so old and fat, I would be able to get into the car. Alright, first one started. I'll get the other 3 in, and I'm going to go back to that side and do it over. I'm not happy with the way it came out. Now that I know a little more, we'll fix that. And here's what it looks like when it's installed. Pretty good, pretty close. There's a little bit of a gap, but I guess that's to be expected. You might consider putting a bead of RTV or some kind of sealant behind the rubber here. The next thing is to get the window up. Hopefully that'll seal, because there's not much away in a, well, I guess there is adjustments in the window, but I sure don't want to do it. So window up, got a real good seal towards the back there, and then a little bit of a gap up here, but like I said, not much we can do. That takes care of the bottom rubber. Now, this is a little concerning. This is up all the way that this will allow, and we've got a big gap up here. So that window either has to come up another inch, or new rubber is going to have to come down. So I've got the kit. We'll just see how that goes. So as usual, thanks for hanging in there with me. Shorter version of what I've been doing lately, but this job's pretty easy once you get all the parts removed. And like I said, I think it's better if you get them removed, because it sure gives you better access. Plus I was able to clean up that chrome and get the old spray paint off. Whoever painted the car last looks a lot nicer. Alright guys, thanks very much for tuning in and hanging in there.